it's Pamela Naturals and I'm back with another video. I'm particularly excited about this video because I will be sharing my experience planning 3 events remotely. So if you're interested, keep watching. So guys, this is going to be the longest video I have ever done, so grab a snack or a cup of tea or I don't know, a drink, because I am going to take you on a journey that we went through planning these 3 events remotely. We had a party in Perth, we had a traditional party in Zambia, and the white wedding, which was in Zimbabwe. So yeah, let's get started. So the question that you're probably asking yourself is, why 3 events? I mean, 1 event is hectic enough to plan. Why would we do 3 events remotely at that? And the simple answer to that is that we've got friends and family that are in different countries, and for us it was really important to try and do something for these people in different in all these different countries. My husband and I, we met in Perth, and a lot of our friends are in Perth, so obviously we would want to do something for them in Perth, but I'm from Zambia and he's from Zimbabwe, so most of our family is there as well. So, you know, it was a hard decision to try and, you know, decide on just 1 event in 1 location. So we ended up deciding to just go ahead and do 3 events. The Perth event for me was stress-free, and I have got my friend Ruth to thank for this. Thank God for good friends, right? I didn't have to do too much planning. I mean, she was just like, you know, tell me what you want, tell me your colors, and I'm gonna run with it. And I'm so grateful for that because she did an amazing job. People were so supportive as well. They chipped in, and yeah, we had a good time on the day. We had a lot of friends that contributed to the event. You know, our MC was a friend of ours, you know, the DJ was a friend of ours, cameraman was a friend as well, and the program was very personal to us because, you know, it was pretty much run by people that knew us. There was a lot of dancing, obviously lots of music. We had quite a lot of fun with that, and yeah, I attempted to sing. There's a song that I sang, I think it was Wise Men Say. I had practiced the song so many times, guys. I promise I knew the words, the key was right, but I was so nervous. And it was very personal. Obviously, emotions are running high at the time. So yeah, I couldn't really pull it off because I was so nervous. I couldn't actually sing on the day, but you know, it was heartfelt, so I guess, yeah, I do take some comfort in that. For people that don't know, my husband and I were dated long distance for like 3 long years, and to be able to come together and, you know, meet with our friends. I mean, my husband hadn't seen some of his friends for like 10 years plus, you know, so it was special in so many ways. Special in that we were together at last, and also special because he was able to see his friends that he hadn't seen for, you know, too long. The theme of the event, I had decided to go a deep red, so like almost like a maroon or crimson color. So it was gonna be red for myself and him, and then yeah, the guests were going to be in white denim and an African accessory. For my attire, once again, friends came through. I have a friend who knows somebody in Zimbabwe who does African attires, so she made the jumpsuit for myself. She found the material, made the jumpsuit, and yeah, sent it to Australia, and I had to make a few adjustments here to obviously fit properly according to my size. And that was pretty much it. Not too much stress around that. The lady that I worked with was amazing. She was quite, you know, quick, you know, no dilly-dallying, no delay. It was quite a smooth process for myself. I had wanted to match with my husband, so, you know, we decided to just take a white shirt and just place like African material down the middle, and then, you know, a pocket square here and there, and pretty much that was it, and that finished the look for us on the day. Simple enough, but I think, you know, we felt good about the attires that we had come up with. I'll tell you a funny story. We had spent so many months planning for this event, right? And if you don't know, we live in a small town and we have to, you know, drive and take a couple of flights to Perth. And we were so busy that we actually forgot my husband's attire. So I packed mine, I packed my suitcase, but I think he was working the night before we traveled, and we forgot the attire. I think that was probably the most stressful thing around that time for me, because I'm like, what? I spent so much time putting this together, and you know, he can't wear his attire. We were not sure what to do. Should we just sort of get like a white shirt and wing it? But you know, if we did that, he would then look underdressed and I would be looking overdressed, and they were like, you know, it wouldn't just look right. But luckily, through friends, you know, and people that we know in the town where we live, we're able to get someone to get into the house and go into the wardrobe, get the attire, and give it to someone that was coming to Perth. Whew, such a process, but we were able to get the attire on the same day that we arrived in Perth, which was great. You know, that just made me realize, when God, you know, plans your life, when God is doing the planning for you, you need not stress. I mean, I have my plans, but he always has his own plans. And yeah, at the end of the day, everything ended up coming together and we had a good time. So guys, the venue that we chose for our event in Perth is it's a restaurant in Mosman Park in Perth called it's called Tsunami Sushi. And my friend Drew is the one who suggested it to me, and it's a Japanese restaurant, so I'm like, I don't know if we have enough options, you know, to be able to provide, you know, a nice cuisine to our guests, of which I was a bit worried about that. But they ended up being able to come up with a good menu and some options for vegetarians and, you know, other special needs, and we were happy with it at the end of it. And yeah, so that was the venue. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link to their website in the description below, and you can check it out. The decor, my friend Ru did it as well. I mean, she's amazing and she's so talented. I mean, her interests are quite vast, and she actually has an interest in decor, and you know, she's creative like that, something I've got no idea about. But you know, I told her my theme, which was like a deep red and white pretty much, so she ran with that, and she had like red centerpieces with roses and, you know, other kinds of flowers in there that just made it look magnificent. And she had petals sprinkled on the tables, guys. I mean, it was amazing. When I walked in there, I'm like, wow, you know, it looks professionally done. The venue itself was actually quite nice as well, because it actually had fairy lights on the ceiling, and they were draping on some of the walls as well, which made it look super fancy, but it was it was pretty average. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was a wow venue. It was definitely within our budget, which we were happy with at the end of it all. I had requested for our guests to come dressed in white, accessorizing with an African, you know, accessory pretty much. So whether it be a hairpiece, a headpiece, a head wrap, you know, some people wore like chokers or necklaces or whatever it is that they want, belts that were African print, shoes that were African print. So yeah, it was really nice to see people just come with those attires, and they looked flat. We had decided, I mean, we were going back and forth about how we're going to go into the, the venue, and we ended up deciding to dance. And guys, I mean, I love dancing, but I'm not really comfortable dancing in front of people because I don't consider myself an expert, but I enjoy dancing. And we picked a song called Sadzane Murio by, I think it's Ja Praiser. So it's a Zimbabwean Shona song. And yeah, Happy and I came dancing to it and being all silly with it, and yeah, basically having a good time. People were up on their feet and clapping and dancing. Yeah, and we had a good time. Our MC was the bomb. I mean, he knows us quite well, and that's why we chose him. We've always wanted to pick people that have a good understanding of who we are and our journey. So Bridal was awesome. I mean, he was so funny and he got people laughing and just, you know, interacted with them. It was so beautiful. And we have all our friends and our family to thank for that, the success of the event.
Pentagon, flatline, yo boy, yo maps. Oh no.
The next event we had was in Zambia, and this was a Zambian traditional party. It was a mix of a few things, and I can't say it was, you know, chilanga mulilo or a kitchen party or a bridal shower, because it really had a little bit of everything. And the idea was to obviously showcase the Ngoni Chewa culture, which is my tribe's, but also just to showcase Zambian cuisine. So yeah, that's what we're trying to capture with this particular event. We ended up deciding and settling on a venue called Mikaela, yeah, in Lusaka. And guys, this venue and the package that was being offered really was like a holistic offer for myself. It had the venue itself, it had the food, you know, it came with a DJ, the PA system, and also photos and video as well. And we had a bonus of an MC, which was really great. I mean, to be honest with you, I couldn't have picked a better venue. It worked for us, it worked for our budget. It was beautiful and obviously convenient for everybody to be able to attend. So that's the venue. If you guys are interested in the venue, I'll put a link in the description below and you can check it out. But otherwise, nothing bad really to say about it. It was really awesome, and I'm not being paid for this. So when we came from Perth, so we flew from Perth to Zimbabwe and then we drove to Zambia, and we did that because we had to drive back or fly back to Zimbabwe and have the wedding in Zimbabwe. So I don't know if you get what I mean, but we had to fly to Zim and then had to drive to Zambia for the event, which was really exhausting. We did that in just a couple of days. I was knackered by the time we got to Zambia. Luckily, you know, my sister was there, so she had everything organized pretty much, and all I had to do is, you know, final touches, rock up and just make sure everything was in check. There was a few, obviously a few people traveling from Australia, Zimbabwe and other parts of the world, and you know, people were really just really supportive of us, and they really came to celebrate with us once again, of which it was great for us, because that's the whole purpose we're doing the events, just to have a good time with our friends and family. The color theme for the Zambian event, which I'm just gonna call the Zambian traditional party, it was actually black and yellow for the decor, but my dress was blue and yellow. And I have to say, guys, doing this remotely is not easy. I went through quite a few, you know, tailors, you know, fashion designers here and there to try and get a deal without being ripped off, because people just think, oh, you know, because you come from overseas, you're not in Zambia, so you've got lots of money. That's not true. And I feel like, you know, sometimes people take advantage because of that. Luckily, I was able to find a lovely lady through a friend of mine, and she was brilliant. She found the material for me. She helped me design the final look, because I have the idea in my head, but you know, bringing it to life is what the challenge is, or what the challenge was. So she helped me bring it together, and it was beautiful. I loved it. She was happy to make alterations the minute I got there, you know, and adjustments just to make sure it was perfect, and it was. I mean, the dress, I mean, for me was a winner. She got the colors right. The yellow was the right shade of yellow, which I was going for, like a lemon yellow, and she just captured that beautifully. My husband was going to be in all white with some hints of the yellow material which I was wearing, and that turned out good by the same tailor as well. So I'm really grateful for that. And like I said, guys, the venue package came as an all-inclusive package, which included food as well. And with the food, I was also trying to, you know, showcase the Zambian culture. We had everything. We had chikanda, we had visashi, what else, dry fish. There's all sorts of veggies and just different foods for people to just indulge. So Zambia is a place where all my childhood friends are. Most of my family is, I mean, it's home. And for me, I wanted to make it personal. I wanted people to enjoy, and there was so much love and light and just downright rejoicing. I had a surprise, like a surprise hens party. I had no idea about it, only to rock up with a room full of, you know, my childhood high school friends. You know, I was emotional, totally taken by surprise. We had a great time spending time together, and I think the following day, that's when we had the event. So let's get down to the program. First of all, MC was on point. The lady that we had wanted to be our MC did not end up doing the MCing, but the owner of the venue, Mikaela, he was awesome. His name is OJ. I'm sure he doesn't mind me naming him, but he was awesome. He was so funny. He just ran with the program. I mean, we had spoken with him the day before just to discuss and go through the program itself, and he ran it like a legend, capturing, you know, different cultures: Aussie, Zimbabwe, Zambia, people from different parts of the world. It's hard, you know, because you want everyone to be entertained, and I think he did a brilliant job, and I have him to thank really for the success of that event. The plan, so we were planning to, obviously music was going to be a big part and lots of dancing. My husband came up with an idea where we're going to have a fake bride. So my intention was not to come into the venue covered, but we had one of our friends come in as a fake bride. So it was a prank. It was a prank for everybody. No one had an idea that was happening. She came in covered, and yes, sat at the front. And Nigel, my husband, and his family, his friends and cousins, they came in dancing and, you know, throwing money, only to unveil her, and voila, it's the wrong bride. So it was pretty dramatic. And, you know, my parents and, you know, the elders of the family, not knowing what's happening, a few of them panicked. They're like, oh, what's happening here? They've given us the wrong bride, yada yada. But yeah, we knew what was happening, and they went back out, and that's when I came in. So it was good fun. Everybody laughed at the end of it, you know. It was good to just throw in a little bit of banter in there to get people relaxing a little bit. Because sometimes, you know, everyone's just nervous because it's, you know, someone's getting married. It's a big thing for me anyway. So my entrance was with my girls, so my cousins, my friends, my sister. They had like white t-shirts and like a wraparound chitenge, which is an African material, a skirt, which was like a wraparound. It was long. I love that one. They had yellow headbands, which also brought quite a bit of color and character to it. Very traditional kind of dress. And I also came in, I had a little assegai, which is a symbol of honor in the Ngoni, and I think the Zulu culture does that as well. So that was fun. And I came in dancing, guys. Oh my goodness, dancing again to Yomaps. I danced to Kavundula Yomaps. Kavundula Yomaps. And again, it was hot, so I was sweating and trying to dance at the same time. Once again, people joined on the ground, on the dance floor, dancing and just, you know, having a good time. It was great. We had lovely speakers that advised us on, you know, how to live with somebody, pretty much, how to, you know, develop a friendship or relationship that lasts, and we're really great. Pretty much the Zambian event, when we got to the front, my dad blessed Nigel, which is my husband, and it was like a formal handover of myself to him, and encouraged us and advised us to love each other and, you know, support each other and build each other up. And yeah, we'll definitely be carrying that advice throughout our lives. A lot of people advised us and just, you know, encouraged us through the way. There was quite a lot of support from our parents, which was great. And because we had a few friends that were coming from Australia, we just didn't want them to come just for the wedding. I mean, they were coming to Africa for the first time. We wanted to do a little bit of sightseeing and adventure with them. So we took the time out to drive from Zambia, Lusaka, which is the capital city of Zambia, to Zimbabwe, Harare. And that was the longest journey ever. Like, wow. we were so tired by the time we were getting to Zim. But on the way we went and saw the Victoria Falls. It's amazing. It was the first time I was seeing the Victoria Falls from the Zim side. And Zambia and Zimbabwe are always at loggerheads fighting for the Victoria Falls. And I have to say they're both beautiful, but seeing the Zimbabwean side was just magnificent. The water, there's so much water, and you know, the way it sort of has pockets of the falls. So bushy, you get bushy trees and like a rainforest, you know, around the area, and then as you proceed to see the falls, it gets more and more magnificent. You know, I was in awe. Our friends were in awe. We took lots of pictures. We loved it. And we also did a lion encounter, guys. Oh my goodness, this is not my cup of tea, but my husband's a little bit of a, you know, adrenaline junkie. He loves to experience things, you know, bungee jumping and doing all those things that are quite risky in life, which I don't do. But I did agree to go for the lion encounter. It was great. I mean, I was afraid. I have to say I was scared. It's a lion. I don't care how well it's been tamed or trained, but hey, it's a wild animal. Either way, it was great. We took good pictures. We had a walk with the lion. We touched it, and yeah, had a great time. That's pretty much Zambia, guys. So the big event, the white wedding, guys. This is the epitome of all our preparations. I mean, this is the big event that we're all waiting for, and we were super excited about it. Our decision to have it in Zimbabwe was, you know, a decision we made because my husband has a huge family, and obviously we wanted as many people to attend as possible, so we pretty much decided to have it in Zimbabwe, Harare. The venue that we chose is a venue called Umwinzi. It's pretty much a high tent, but it's beautifully decorated, and I'll put a link below to either their website or their Facebook, and you can have a look. Guys, I mean, it was beautiful. The venue itself was lovely without actually adding too much to it. And because I was planning this remotely, I have to say there is no other way I would have done it without a wedding planner. And I had a lovely lady called Gigi from Gigi Events. She was amazing. I mean, I felt like I was planning a wedding with a friend. She walked me through the processes. She had so many ideas of, you know, where to get vendors, cameramen, choreographers, you know, the colors, the decor, the flowers, etc. So it was just lovely to work with someone that's in the industry and that knows things a little bit better than myself. The color theme, so the theme that I was going for was pretty much like a mauve, like a deep mauve and deep teal. I didn't quite exactly capture the real, you know, theme that I was going for, but I did, you know, I did try. You know, it's hard to get the exact colors, especially when there's a lot of things that have to be kind of the same colors, but we used shades of pretty much the same family of colors. The girls' dresses were mauve, almost like a you know, blush pink, dusty pink kind of thing, kind of color. They were beautiful, luckily, and once again we're ordering these online, and I brought the dresses to Zimbabwe for them, so fingers crossed. We're just hoping that everybody would fit. Luckily, most of them were okay. A few adjustments had to be made, but there was no one with a dress that's too small, which is, you know, you don't want that, because if it's a bigger dress, then they can adjust it, make it smaller. But if it's a smaller dress, yeah, you can't really do much, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the girls' dresses. I was going for a natural look, obviously, for the hair. They did updos for their hairstyles with Mali braid for the bun. And yeah, it was beautiful. I thought that the lady that did our hair was also really good with regards to actually bringing the style to life. And yeah, it did actually come to life quite well. I personally was going for, you know, some gel down natural hair, which is something I don't do often, but I also wanted a detailed low bun, which I think was really, it came out really well with the Mali braid, which really, it almost mimics our natural hair, 4C hair, to be specific, and it came out well. I mean, the accessory that I had as well sat quite beautifully on the hair. I can't really say you know, much about that. The gel that she used, and I really don't know which one it was, but it was bomb, guys. It did not flake. The edges were laid down for days. Like, when I say days, you know, if you had to keep them for days, they would, because we actually did our hair the day before the wedding. But yeah, I had to wash my hair the night of the wedding because, you know, we were flying out soon, etc. But really, if you had to keep that gel for long, it would. It was just set. It was really set, which I really liked, because you want to feel confident and secure that your style will stay in place for the whole day of, you know, your wedding, the entire day for the wedding. And yeah, she was able to do that for me. My dress was a dress that I got from Tuscuny, who is a bridal shop here in Australia. They're in Perth. I'll put a link below to their site if you want to check them out, or if you're interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, it was beautiful. I had to make some adjustments to the dress for personal reasons and other reasons, but it was lovely. I loved that, you know, it had the, you know, the detail up here. It had a little bit of a net just here in the cleavage area. Not too much showing, but really bringing that elegance to it, and it just flowed on the lower part of the dress. I loved it. It was heavy, I have to say it was heavy, and because I just had the same dress, you know, carrying it around and dancing with it was a little bit tricky. But yeah, I enjoyed, you know, being in the dress. The ceremony was a surprise for me because the venue lady who also did the deco, she was brilliant. I mean, she did a good job with the deco. I was not expecting the detail. She had my name P and Nigel, my husband's name, N at the front with flowers, white and pink. It was simplistic, I mean, but really elegant, and I really love that she captured that for us. She kept saying, you know, I'll surprise you, and I kept saying, I don't know about the colors, you know, I might have to see the surprise, or at least know your ideas. But she was really great, and the ceremony looked beautiful. We took pictures. We didn't really have enough time to take as many pictures as we wanted, and it rained. Guys, it rained at the ceremony. We were supposed to have a covering or a tent of some sort, but for some reason that wasn't organized, and for me that was the biggest downfall for the day, because we ended up having to cut the ceremony short, you know. And yeah, there was a lot of things that we didn't do at the ceremony that I would have loved to do. We would have loved to do because we had planned for it for many months, but we ended up not doing it because it rained, and obviously we can't keep people sitting in the rain. So yeah, we had to rush to the reception venue, which was just, you know, 2 minutes away in the same area, pretty much same lady, and people had to pretty much take shelter there. The food was great. Once again, the event was full of dancing. We did a couple of routines with our bridal team, one of them being hookah. It's basically hookah, the entire song, which is cool. It's got a nice beat, so yeah, we're able to get into it. Yeah, and we entered to a song as well, my husband and I, which was a Zambian. It was a Zambian song, I can't remember the song. Guys, dancing is nerve-wracking, but it was fun and people had a good time. The Zimbabweans dance, guys. If there's something that I noticed, even when they came to Zambia, dancing was like a big thing. You know, once they get their music going, everybody's on the dance floor, you know, dancing to the beat and having lots and lots of fun. So that was great to just see people having a great time. Another highlight for myself and my husband, I think this was actually the biggest highlight, was that I sung a song by Adele called One and Only. And for those who don't know, I do sing, but I do have I'm always nervous when I sing. And yeah, thankfully I was able to somewhat pull it off, but with the emotions running high and, you know, a crowd of 500 guests. We had 500 guests at our wedding. That's a huge number, for me anyway. I know that in Zim it's pretty standard, but 500 guests is a lot. So yeah, I ended up singing that song, and yeah, I'm glad Happy loved it. He said it was the highlight of the day, and I have to say that was my highlight as well. And that's pretty much the event. It took quite a long time because there was a lot of dancing. We had a traditional the traditional group dancing and, you know, speeches. There's a lot of things going on, and a couple of friends sent videos just to wish us well. So yeah, we ended up doing quite a few things, and yeah, it took quite a while, but I guess the main thing is that people had fun. That's pretty much my experience planning these events. I mean, I do not have any regrets whatsoever. I just feel like for anybody it would be a stressful time, and definitely one that would require you to, you know, take some time out. And obviously finances are big because you have to be putting money in all sorts of places to make it happen. What is your experience planning remote events? Have you planned a wedding or just a party or events, you know, in a different place from where you are, and how did you manage to pull it off? Pretty much, you never know who you help here. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.